Joseph here from Eightcap. So today we're taking a look at the cable, which is the Great Britain pound to the USD, and we are focusing in on it because we can see prices starting to get back to a pretty key level, and that level really sits around that 1.2660 area. It does go a little bit above it, all the way sort of up to 2673, and it has been a decent stopping zone. So we have seen that resistance going back all the way to May 22, where we saw that really big decline, which we all remember that real big plunge that the Bank of England had to step in when pension funds were under some pretty serious pressure. But since that low, we've seen a nice rally, and in recent times, the pound has been doing quite well. We did see a little bit of a pullback here, but so far, this week and last week, we have been seeing a series of higher highs and higher lows, which looks good. And we are wondering now if we can see buyers take that next step after yesterday's really nice, strong key rally, if they can test this area of resistance here and maybe even break above it. A break above this level is really the minimum we need to see now to see this trend continue. It is, so far it is a pretty good looking trend, but this is basically where it sort of hits the line, and buyers are going to need to really show us if this is an actual true trend, and we're going to see a break above this resistance area that's been really in place since May last year. And the latest, real test and fail at this level was when we had that short-term decline, and that was back on May this year. So a little bit of coincidence there with both of them lining up with May. Now, the real key driver here, obviously, we've got some nice price action occurring here. We're seeing what we want to see. The moving average is up. We're sitting on a trend line. Have a bit, have some support in play down at this level here at 23.20, and now we really need to see that next step with a rally up to test this area and a break above into some clear area, really showing that this trend is going to continue on. So we really want to see a break of this resistance. Now, something that may help or hinder on the dollar side. Tomorrow morning is the FOMC, and that includes the federal funds rate, and that's expected to stay on hold. Now, how damaging will this be for the dollar? I think it has been factored in to a degree. There has been a little bit of talk of maybe a surprise rate cut, but I'm no expert on how the Fed's going to move, but I think under the current circumstances, with core inflation yesterday still coming in at 0.4%, even though the year-on-year came in lower, and I still think that rates at best will be on hold. So a rate rise will probably be a pretty big surprise as well. But yeah, we'd probably be thinking that they will keep rates on hold, and then basically, take a step back in the current, the cycle where we have been seeing of rate rises. So I think the statement from the Fed is going to be a big key part as well, and how they're actually seeing that inflation data and how they're seeing the state of the economy, and if they are going to still remain on the hawkish side, or will their tune become a little bit more dovish, and will we see more dollar selling? We did see a bit of a pullback on the dollar yesterday, so it wasn't really clean cut. There was a move down, but it then did come back up. Risk currencies, for instance, the euro, it did pull back from highs, but the Aussie dollar also sits at a pretty decent resistance level, and the pound, which had this very firm session, is getting back up to this resistance area. So definitely the FOMC is going to have an impact on this. I think there is the PPI coming out as well tonight, so that's another inflationary gauge. I think the traders will be looking for a drop in that figure as well to try and help. And if we do see that plus a more dovish Fed, it could set the pound up for a test at least of this level, and even maybe possibly a break. But until we see a real break at this level, it does look like price is starting to not stall, but it's starting to move into a bit of a consolidation. We really need to see that next step higher just to give us some direction and say, yep, this trend is going to continue, and we're going to see more higher highs. But this level here is the next factor that buyers do need to test and beat to really get this trend to continue. So that's our thoughts. That's what we'll be watching the FOMC, and we'll be watching the pound as well. It's 4 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. So just make sure you check that out as well. So thank you very much for your time. All the best for your trading today, and thanks, and bye again.